Fuck. Let's see. All right. Oh, I think we got it. Yo, I can't get my camera to work. Hold on here. Motherfuckers. Boom, 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 boom. Damn. Hold on. Can't get my screen working. Let's see. Da, 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 da. All right. Bum, 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 bum. 409. Bastard. Yo, hold on here. I'm trying to. I don't know. Somebody fucked with my stuff. Fake crowd. Hold on here. I'm trying to get my camera working. Oh, you can see me. All right. Shit. I thought my camera wasn't working. Hey, all right, all right. It just seems it looks blank, so it just means must be my thing. All right, all right. We're in the game then. All right, cool. Let's get to work. All right, let's get to work. We got things to do. All right, my friends, my people. Let's go and do the Lord's work here. I'm back at home. Took a while to get home, but I'm back now. No more Motel 69. All right, let's go and do this, man. I apologize for being late. Yo, we got some like weird like hurricane thingy coming right. I think it passed us, so that was nice to just miss it. Yeah, it's nice to just miss it. Let's go and do what we got to do here. So look, we got a couple things going on here. All right. Number one, yesterday was the reversal of all reversals. You know, it slammed us right into resistance though, but it was the reversal of reversals. So, we had dumped off, I don't even know, 1.5%, 1.8%, and then we ripped it back. Yeah, I didn't see any news on it, but I also didn't check. So don't be mindful. Don't take too much of that. But we hit into resistance and we reversed. Some of that I think was this move in NVIDIA, which also was up 8%. And so when you have something like that, like you end up with, right, this kind of broader market. If you notice the two charts, they look the exact same, right? So if you see here, it's jammed right into the 50-day moving average. The QQQs is the exact same chart. So what does that mean? It means that the market currently is NVIDIA. NVIDIA is the market for the time being, right? Not forever, but for the time being. That's what's rhyming and reason. So make sure you keep that up and about, because I think that's going to be really important as we kind of come through and see what's today. So now the question becomes, okay, we had this big trend, and what do we do, right? What do we do? So we've got a whole host of, I think, some big bases and, stocks that are going to have a chance to go, and that's where we want to be with this, right? So let's start digging in. and go in because we're on a little bit of a shorter leash here due to the fact that I'm late like an asshole. So let's roll in. We got Roku here. Bastards. Man, I was so close to adding this as a swing trade for an overnighter yesterday. This is the hot one. It's gonna be up 6%. So we need to kind of make a pullback on it. That's gonna be paramount. You can't chase this one. But first pullback on this, we're hitting it, right? We starting to fill this gap here. I mean, this is a beautiful looking thing. So we got setup number one. We need it on a pull though. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit tricky. Setup number two that I'm digging that we need a piece of. AAOI. Look, so this thing's got a big range break here. I usually don't trade these kind of smaller names because they're Turdy McGee's, and they are. But the big hairy Indian butt is that this type of setup in general is going. This type of setup right now it's been hot, right? And so this right, it's just that kind of rounding bottom. It's the Nike swoosh, right? And so when you get into this kind of thing, and so see how you're just testing into this 200-day moving average. So you got yourself an okay spot here, right? You got yourself an okay spot. It's got good enough range on it. I think you want to be on this one for number dos. In case anything you guys are watching, but we want to be a part of these kind of names, right? I think we still roll in on this comp on dips only. I wouldn't chase this up because you had kind of 3-4 green candles, but look, you have a range break here at 6. You have a range break here at 6. I have this one for a swing trade. It's more of an IRA type of trade, but you can day trade it too. You got a flag pattern that it's coming out of. Redfin, this 11 is going to be big. I think this, don't be surprised to see this thing come into the 16, 17 over the next period of, I don't know, a handful of weeks, if the market holds, right? If the market holds, we want to go into that. So there's a couple things. Hey, Zaman, we'll go over that in a second. So, guys, Zaman's asking, what do you look for to see if the trend changes, right? So, like, for example, yesterday the trend changed. So what do you look for to do that? So there's a couple things I personally look for. You already see I kind of drew up these levels that we were talking about this in the pre-market, that the market has been dumping off every day and then rebounding. So some of it is just market awareness. You can call it situational awareness, market awareness, but it's just market awareness. So what a market awareness essentially means is like, what are the structural tendencies that are currently happening in the market, right? What are the market constructs that are currently in work? So one of the things that we've noticed, right, that everybody's noticed is that we've been fading off every gap. See, we get a spike up and then we roll over. And we've been filling the gap, and it looks like it's been sucking into shorts, and then they're just ramping it back. And they're ramping it back big with buy programs and no pullbacks, right? So if you see here, these buy programs come in, there's not even any pullback, right? And then they just dump it back. And you can see the next day, right, you gapped up, you farted around, and then you had this huge dump, and your market's down 1%, and it looks like it's just, bear market, right? Because we're kind of below all these MAs. And then they're ramping it right back. And see how there's not even any pulls. They just go up to 9 EMA. When they do stuff like that, that's telling you that this is just right. The computers are on, the algos are on, and they're doing it. So you have something that's happening already, right? Which is you're dipping and ripping. And so yesterday when you dip off, right, the ATR on the market is 9 points. So when you dip off from 460 to 461 on the dot, you got your 9 points. So that's the ATR. So the odds of you kind of increasing more than the ATR on the downside is very small. So once you use up the ATR on the downside, right, that's 9 points on the dot. Usually it's going to get there pretty close. Then now you've got yourself, if you have some levels, Now you got some spots where you want to look for, potential bounce. You can't keep shorting because you have too many red candles in a row and you've used up the ATR. So usually when you get like kind of a power candle like this, like you want to start to look, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean anything. For me, once it remounts over the 9 EMA, then I can take a shot and put a stop at the bottom of the candle, and then you can kind of play this thing back to the upside. Now, you'll never know if it's going to go up like this, right? So that's because yesterday there was news out on the CPI. You have something that's fundamental that's happening that's going to be, maybe a little bit more elongated, right? And so then we ended up using many times the ATR, right? 2 times the ATR on the upside, and we just trended up the EMAs, and that's how you know it's just kind of a big buy program. So that's kind of how you want to catch the reversal. Now going back to this, I digress, right? Let's add a couple more of these bad boys. This CMG, this is a W pattern. And you've got the necklines, you're pretty much at it, right? At 56, 57. I think this one we want to take a little piece at. CMG, because the range has actually been compressed, you could roll in with the options on this one. They're going to be fairly priced. If you look here, what day we got today? Wednesday? Wednesday 3rd. No, today is Wednesday, yeah. You're going to have pretty cheap options on this. If you notice, like, CMG always has cheap options. So if this one breaks, even if it moves in a less percentage than a lot of stocks that you would normally watch, the options will go nuts on it because the options are already cheap and it doesn't take much of a move to get this bad boy going. So I would add this one. I think it's got a chance. I'm watching this kind of 56, 57 zone, but I like to preempt everything, right? You don't want to be the last one to the gangbang on these kind of names. So I like to preempt this. But I think this one also has got a nice chance on it. So I want to add in, right? We got Comp, we got Redfin, right? We got AAOI, we got Roku. I want to add in these rounding bottoms. I think if these kind of names are going to go, probably old Roblox here too has got a chance. So if you look here, let's kind of extend this out a little bit. But you can see here, right, this Roblox, man, it's been basing for so long you can't even get the candles to look right, right? Let's go to a weekly chart. So if you look at the Roblox, this is from 2022, test at 46, right? Test. You're at 45.18. You're testing out this level again. Now, this is going back all the way to 2022, the beginning of it, right? So we're end of 2024. We're coming in. We're coming in hot on something like this. This has got a good spot on it. If we're getting some of these kind of names go, then we want to be a part of this, right? Next one I want to add in for today is Olafur. Right? So we popped up on this bad boy, 60 million shares in volume. You had a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days pullback. That's all you need. So you got to wick down into the 200-day moving average. When you get something like that, now you're really into this thing. Like now you got a good spot on this thing to really come in and get a little hootenanny. This is top of the list here today too. And this is like a good sweet spot in price, I find, to just trade. They're infinitely easier to trade than, more expensive names. So definitely keep this bad boy on. I think we got ourselves a little spot here. So come in and just roll with this. It's a good God-fearing Christian setup, that's for sure. This is like, we get any kind of dump off, and I think we do probably need to see one shakeout today before we can just roll in deep. I think we got a spot here. What do you think? Yes, I like it too. I like it too. Good. Now, I've been waiting for this one for a while. I want you to set an alert on this U, all right? It's getting there. So there's 2 aspects of this, 2 spots that you really need to set the alert. The first trigger is 1750, all right? and you got to wait for it to tighten up before it gets there. So don't like just come in, don't come in too hot on it. Let it tighten up a little bit, and then when it takes out that level, we're gonna get ourselves a moment of passion right there. Right? So break 1750, that takes us to 18. If we can break into the 18, now we got something a little bit better, right? Now we got something a little bit better. I think we're going to have a spot on this. I love the overall look of it. It's got a swing look, though. I don't know if it's a day trader yet till it breaks 18. So there's two different things that you have to look for when you're thinking about day trading versus swing trading. When you're day trading, it's better to let a stock speed up post break of resistance, and then you start hitting it. Where when you're swing trading, you want to be in a little bit early and try to get like right before the inflection point so you can get a better price so you're not chasing. And so there's just like a small, I wouldn't even say nuance to it, right? But there's just like a small little thing that goes in. And so we want to be rolling deep on this thing. All right. We want to be rolling deep on this thing if we can get it. Right. So add this one. This would be more of a swing. Nova. This is also, this you can day trade, but I think it's a really good swing setup if it breaks. And that, you have this, you got a really tight spot here. So it didn't break yesterday because you're kind of already up a couple days in a row. Now you got a little bit of an inside candle. If this takes out this kind of 1130, 1142 range, I think we're going to have ourselves, a little bit of a spot here. Let's roll in with this one. Add it in for, you don't got to go too crazy with this one, right? Add it in right at 1130. And dude, you're going to have yourself a little hootenanny. It's going to be nice. Real nice. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, yeah. Hold on here. I'm just getting some of my other stuff set up here. There we go. Good. Another one. There's a lot of setups right now. FSLR. FSLR is out of the swing group for solars, right? So solars are heating up a little bit. This one tends to run the best, all right? You can see the range on this yesterday. You had an ORB, you had to pull back to the 9 EMA. You got all this kind of good stuff that's happening on it. Like that's where we want to be on this thing. It's got a really good look here. Now, it had a big day yesterday. Oftentimes after a big day, you may get a little bit of a choppiness at the open. So really remember this. After big days in the market, the first hour in specific, you often will get choppiness. That's for you, Thayer, who likes to blow his load in 2 seconds. You got to chill it out at the open. So watch this one. If it goes red to green and it holds there, then this range break is probably going to bust through. Don't be surprised if it gets an inside day. An inside day is just after a big thrust, you get just a narrow range day that's really, really boring. And it just kind of builds up a little steam for it to break out later. Yeah, I saw that. I'm not that worried about the energy per se. My thinking on at least some of these is just, if the market gets hot, they just like to pick off the stuff on the bottom, especially if it's going to be more like these kind of, other names. The IWM really wasn't like some big heater yesterday, but it was enough. It was enough. It's still in a range, and that's where the worry lies in. That's where the worry does lie in. But I roll with it. You can unstuck anything. I I'd roll with it. You can unstuck anything. So add in FSLR, add in Nova. Both of these will be okay. And dude, we're gonna have ourselves. We'll have ourselves a little bit of a hootenanny. On the PR plays, guys, there's a handful out here today that might be okay. I think this children's place had earnings out yesterday. If you like small caps, like you can trade something like this. But if you look here, like the intraday action, super herky jerky and wiki. So it kind of ends up, unless you're like you got the fast fingers and you're doing the hotkeys or whatever. Then this kind of stuff is really hard to trade. The wicks, everything they just eat you alive. So I'm not a big fan of it. I think you leave it alone. I think we just got better. We got better plays. Look at this Netgear. This thing had earnings, upgrades, fiscal revenue line up, shares rise. These guys make the routers. I forgot about this company, huh? You get a couple of these. I think any of these are. I want to focus in on these bottoming plays. Mr. Lighter, what's going on, baby? All right, so let's repeat the watch list. I want you to head in this Roku. Got to upgrade today. First dip on this. We taking it down. All right. AAOI. This is the Buenos. Add in Affirm. First dip on this one. We want to be doing. FSLR. You got a range break setting up here. 242. Nova. 1150 trigger. Right? You need a red to green on this 1150 trigger. Roblox. Mr. Marquette, how you doing, sir? We need to catch up. It's been too long. 46 is a spot. We may come in a little bit early on this one. First trigger 1750. The next one 18. And we'll have ourselves a little bit of a hootenanny. Good. I apologize for being late. You know what? I'll probably come on tomorrow with you guys and fuck around on time. Do we have this hurricane that missed us and went to Louisiana or something? So everything was delayed. All right, I'm hopping in the boom boom room. I'll be in the Discord the rest of the day, my friend.